Hello folks, welcome to Growth Grad. In this video we are going to understand about businesses and how the business numbers actually help define goals for performance marketing numbers, right? In terms of understanding the business, it's a very broad concept. People do 2 years of MBA and people run decades worth of business to really define what a business is. In my experience of running two different businesses, it is very customized. Each business has its own behavior, but in a broader scheme of things, as a performance marketer, you should have some level of understanding so that your efforts can then directly tie back to success of the business, right? So without further ado, let's get into the video of understanding the business from a performance marketer's point of view. The first question is, why do we really need to understand the business as a performance marketer, right? Like, you know how to run Meta ads, you know how to run Google ads, and that should be enough. Yeah, maybe a few years back, but now as the world is changing with AI coming in, many changes that are happening in the entire world of marketing, especially performance marketing. If you don't really understand the value that you are adding to a business, there is somebody else who will, and they will replace you, especially with the help of AI, right? So you really need to understand the business. That's how you'll be able to convey the value of all the efforts that you will put in these platforms, right? So why we need to understand the business? It really helps you define the math, right? Through this mathematics, you will be able to define goals and then segment your strategies accordingly to achieve those goals, right? Choose strategies, platform budgets to plan, etc., as I mentioned, and understand the metrics that we need to measure, right? Because in today's day and age, if you open any dashboard, there are presets that are made for metrics, and then there are hundreds of custom metrics that you can make, right? And God forbid you open LinkedIn, you will find two metrics every day. So you really need to understand what really matters for that business that you are operating for, right? So in this video, we'll take a look at some examples as well so that you understand, right? What happens if you don't understand the business, right? So this is a screenshot of a recent client that came to me for an audit. They spent $14,500 with a 0.8 return on ad spends, right? Although, yeah, there are many things related to their campaign approach which can be further optimized to get their desired results. But at the same time, if you are into a business and if you know your business numbers, you wouldn't, like, this is something that I spoke to them about, right? You wouldn't spend close to $15,000 to really understand that, oh, something is wrong, right? You'll be able to define certain numbers, certain guardrails, if I have to say so, to really control your testing spends as well, right? You'll be able to really define how much leg room you need to have in your business to really understand if this thing is going to work for you or not, right? For this brand, unfortunately it didn't happen, and they had to spend $14,500 to realize that. So yeah, we'll see how we can improve this brand. But typically, broadly speaking, for this video's sake and for your understanding, there will be typically three types of businesses that you will broadly work in: e-commerce, lead generation, subscription. Now, lead generation can also be B2B, B2C, so behavior and everything changes a little bit. But with these examples, you'll be able to understand the fundamentals clearly, right? In case if you have any question, if you have any doubts, drop it in the comment below and I'll make sure that I'll get back to you, right? So in the meanwhile, let's go ahead. Before getting into the business examples, let's see what metrics you need to know to understand how things work. So first is ASP and AOV, so average sale price or average order value. Then the meaning of that metric is basically, let's say you are selling this water bottle and same store is also selling this notebook, right? Now, both of these products will have different values. But if, let's say, you are getting hundreds of orders every month, you will not calculate individual value, like, while you'll still maintain that, but you will be able to come up with a number of what an average order value is on your site, right? So what you will do, take total number of orders, total revenue that you make from different pricing products, and you'll be able to divide and get the average sale price or average order value price, right, for the same. Next is monthly recurring revenue. If there is a subscription business, it is typically associated with a monthly recurring fees, which service provider or the subscription provider will ask for. So that is MRR. It also relates to e-commerce and other businesses, like to define the run rate, like MRR. That's like the run rate of monthly recurring revenue that a business is having. COGS is cost of goods sold. So in case of this example, in case of this bottles example, let's say I sold it for 500 rupees, but it takes me as a business 300 rupees to make, right? Not a lot of profit margin, but yeah, that will be the COGS for this water bottle. Gross margin is basically the profit a company makes after the sale and deducting the COGS, right? So 200 rupees for this bottle. Payback period is time taken to get back the initial investment. We will take a look at it from a marketing standpoint, right? Like the what is the cost per lead, and through that we'll be able to understand this payback period. Then LTV is the lifetime value. Let's say I first order on your site for me was this water bottle, and now I am your customer already, right? But now you don't have to spend to acquire me, technically speaking, right? So I go and purchase the notebook, I go and purchase maybe, let's say, another timer that you might be selling, right, on your website. So I spent on 2-3 different other products, and I came with a 500 rupee purchase for this water bottle, but with including other material, I was able to spend additionally 400 rupees, right? So my lifetime value becomes becomes 900 rupees, right? In this example. Churn rate is the percentage rate of consumers or customers unsubscribing. This is typically related to subscription businesses, in a way speaking. And then LTV versus CAC. Oh, we forgot. CAC is the customer acquisition cost. So let's say to purchase this 500 rupee water bottle, you had to acquire, like you had to pay Meta or Google or somebody to acquire me as a customer for 150 rupees, right? So you, through this example, you only made 50 rupees on this bottle. Still positive though, but this is where you will be able to understand cost of customer acquisition. You paid on these platforms to acquire me for 150 rupees. The cost of good for this water bottle was 200 rupees. The cost that I paid for this water bottle was 500 rupees. So you'll be able to do the math, right? And then comes a very important metric for an overall understanding of business health. That is LTV versus CAC, right? That gives you a measurement between the LTV, a consumer that will spend overall in the business, versus what it costed you to acquire. So as I mentioned, that I also took a notebook, I also took a timer from your website after the water bottle purchase, right? So in total, I spent 900 rupees on your business, with your business, and your business paid 150 rupees to acquire me, right? So if you divide that 900 by 150, you will be able to come up to a number which will be your LTV to CAC ratio, right? So these are the business metrics. You can take a note of them. There are many other metrics also, but in our case, I think this should be good enough for now, right? Now, there is a special attention that I want to bring towards the LTV versus CAC number, right? So this is a number which defines how balanced your business is, right? After a lot of research, you can go on the internet and you'll be able to find data regarding this. But LTV to CAC, if it is at 3, then your business is in perfect balance, right? If it is more, so what does 3 define, right? So every 1 rupee you spend to acquire me, I am giving you 3 rupees as a business value, right? That's the number 3. So after many research in terms of many different types of businesses, if you are at 3 in terms of your LTV and CAC ratio, then you are at a stage where you are chasing growth while also maintaining your business health, right? If it becomes less than 3, let's say 2, 1.5, 1.8, that means you are at the risk of losing your business, right? Like you're growing either too rapidly at the cost of and the health of the business. And if it is more than 3, let's say 4 is also great, you are maintaining bigger profit pile, 5 even better, Beyond 5, it becomes that you're sacrificing the growth of your business, right? You're keeping too much in your pocket and you're sacrificing the growth of your business. So 3 number becomes a very it's like a golden number. If you're able to maintain that, you're maintaining that perfect balance of growth, scale, and sustenance of the business as usual activities, right? So that is like the balance between LTV and the CAC number, right? Now coming to examples, the first example is for a lead generation business. Okay. By the way, any question, any doubt that you have related to this, any metric, anything that we have discussed so far, please mention in the comments. I know this will be a bit more technical video in terms of numbers and all, in terms of metrics, but don't hesitate, comment, and I'll be able to help you out over there, right? First example is lead generation business. Let's say you are we have an interior designing business and they have hired you as a performance marketing manager, right? The goal is to generate leads for new home project developments, right? Like new home projects are coming in this interior designing company, this lady that you see she's already planning on, new homes. So she wants you to generate leads for new home owners, right? Who she can deliver the services to. So what business metrics will you ask, right? That becomes the first question itself. What business metrics you will ask? Typically ASP, what is your average ticket size, gross margin per sale, how much you are able to make per sale, because they have material costs, whatever, right? Lead to sale cycle, right? Now this is where the lead generation thing comes in. Not 100% of the leads will convert into customers, right? So on dashboard, on Meta, or anything that we will see in the future, if you see you generated 100 leads, but that business owner won't be able to get 100 deals out of it, right? So you need to understand what is their typical rate, 10%, 2%, 1%, 50%, whatever it is, right? Then LTV, typically in this case, LTV is more like a one-time thing, like interior designing services are like one-time project. But in case if they are doing other activities, maintenance, future upgradation, something like that, then, or else you can just skip it. And sales cycle, right? How long does it require to convert, to help you just decide the payback period? But still, it's not very important, as important as lead to sales ratio, gross margin per sale, and ASP, right? Now what you will do in terms of calculation based on these numbers, you will design the metrics leads needed per sale, right? So to get one sale, how many leads you need to generate for this business, and what is going to be the cost per lead that you can estimate, right? Now for every example that we take over here, we'll be going with 3 different types of business examples: lead generation, e-com, and subscription. In each of these cases, what we are trying to assume is an LTV to CAC ratio of 3. Like the business is wanting to grow at the very optimal level. In real world, your business may want to maintain LTV to CAC at 4.55. I don't know. It's business owner's wish, right? So in these examples, we are going to take the value 3 as a constant, right? So you ask these business metrics. Now you need to calculate these business metrics. So simple. Average sale price, let's say for this example, was 15 lakh rupees. Gross margin per sale is 8 lakh rupees. And the lead to sale rate is 1.2%. So out of every 100 leads that you give them, they'll be able to convert 1.2 leads out of that, roughly speaking. So if you 1000 leads, so 12 leads they will be able to 12 deals they'll be able to get out of it. So through that calculation, average leads needed per sale is going to be 83, right? If I have to take like the number from decimal, I will just do 1 by 1.2%. 83 is the number of leads that you need to generate so that they make one sale, right? Now we have taken the LTV to CAC ratio as 3, right? So to maintain this at 3, and lifetime value, as I mentioned, for interior design businesses is going to be only one cycle. So your LTV is only going to be the actual ASP, right? You don't need like a constant monthly subscription for keeping your sofa at home, right? Unless you are doing Rento Mojo or something. This is an interior designing business. So whatever they give you, then you own it. So it's 15 lakh rupees, the LTV. So basis on this, we'll be able to design the max CAC, like 5 lakhs. Within 5 lakhs, I should be able to close this deal, right? Acquire this customer. to maintain this number at 3. Though, so max cost per lead is going to be 6,000. Like if the number goes beyond 6,000 for you as per the cost per lead, then you are in a problem, right? Then basically you need to reanalyze your campaigns and see what really is going on. You need to work on your campaigns, decrease the number of cost per lead beyond below 6,000, right? So that's how you'll be able to understand in terms of maintenance of the gross margins, profits, etc., 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 right? Payback period will be once, like whatever is your sales cycle, right? Let's say 45 days. If that is the sales cycle, then your payback period will be 45 days, completion of the project, right? So that is the interior designing business. Now, just to do some activity, right? Let's say the lead to close rate changes from 1.2%. They do some kind of a sales training within their company, or you help them set up some kind of an automation which is helping them improve your lead to sales closing rate, right? Let's say this becomes 2%. Suddenly you only need 50 leads, and what happens? You are able to get more room, right? More room for your cost per lead. So you'll be able to spend more, you will be able to expend more and acquire like a bigger pie in the market, right? Let's say you don't want to maintain this at 3, the business wants to maintain it at 5, right? Again, you are back to 6,000 and your CAC cannot go beyond 3. Sorry, your CAC cannot go beyond 3 lakh, right? Through whatever your efforts, right? So that is like a business model with respect to lead generation businesses, right? Next, let's take an e-commerce example. By the way, again, any doubt, any question, mention in the comments and I'll be able to help you out. Apparel business. You are hired as a performance marketer and you need to generate sales online through their online Shopify store or any e-commerce platform that they are using, right? What business metrics will you ask? Your AOV, your COGS, your order per customer in a 1 year cycle to understand like LTV, right? Because LTV, it's not like lifetime till I live or something like that, right? Like you define in terms of your business. It can be 3 months LTV, 6 months LTV, 9 month LTV, in this case 1 year LTV, right? What you need to calculate? Max CAC, LTV, payback period, margin on your first order, right? Just to see if the business is profitable. You don't have to go till this level as of now if you're just beginning, but good to know this number. So average order value is 1900 rupees. COGS per order is 855. Your gross margin per order is 1045, right? So your gross margin percentage is 55%, right? So 55% of whatever you sell is going to be going in your pockets or the business's pockets, right? So order per customer is 1.6. Right, so 1.6, like nobody's going to order like 0.6 as a thing, but 1.6 comes from the division. Like in 1 year, a customer will order like 1.6 times. CAC versus LTV, we have taken a 3. So your lifetime value becomes 1672 in 1 year period, right? If I extend it to 2 years, maybe this 1.6 number becomes 2.5, right? I don't know. In second year, the customer comes back and takes more products, but we don't, like usually businesses don't have like that level of hyper extended LTV system. So 1 year example is good enough for now. So our max CAC will be 557.33, right? We'll see it in the sheet also, so you understand the numbers better. So these orange tiles are basically given to us by the businesses, and this one is something that we have assumed. If the business wants to maintain it at 4, 5, 3.2, 3.6, whatever it is, the calculation will change. So this is your gross margin. So subtraction of AOV from COGS, turning into a percentage of your gross margin per order by average order value into 100. So that's like a percentage. This is something that we have taken from the business. This is something that we have assumed. So your lifetime value becomes 1.6. These are the number of orders you would do in 1 year multiplied by gross margin per order, right? Then you have CAC 557.33. So that is taking the LTV by CAC ratio. Your margin on first order is going to be this. That's your margin that you make on your first order, because that's your per order margin. So you'll be able to make money because your CAC is only 557. Now, if you're running campaigns and if you see your CPA going beyond, or new customer acquisition cost, or in general customer acquisition cost going beyond 557 rupees, then you know certain things in this, like these things won't work, right? Like there will be certain problems in this thing. So you will have to come back and reassess your campaigns, your numbers and everything to understand that where is it that you're going wrong, right? Now coming to another example, this time for a subscription business, which is AI apps for e-commerce owners, right? Certain AI app for e-com stores, they hired you as a performance marketer. Now you need to get more subscribers and trials, right, for their business. What business metrics will you ask? Monthly recurring revenue. So what's basically your cost of per month subscription, gross margin, churn rate, how many people are leaving your subscription services in a month, and a free trial to sub, right? Now again, in subscription businesses, some people may offer free trial, some people may offer like a 7-day free trial, some people may only give free account forever, like lifetime free account. For example, tools like ClickUp, they do lifetime free accounts, etc. So different strategies, different funnels. We will have like a different video for funnels and we'll cover most of them. But in this video, we have taken the example of this business is giving free trials and then converting people into subscription. What business numbers will you calculate? Max CAC, LTV, payback period, cost per free trial, right? And then you as a performance marketer will optimize to generate as many free trials as possible. Make sense? Cool. So your monthly recurring revenue, that is cost of your monthly subscription, is 1200 rupees. Your whatever cost that you may have calculated, like the business owners may have calculated, their gross margin is 71%, right? Churn rate per month is 4%. So out of 100 people, 4 people will leave the subscription or cancel their subscription. Free trial to purchase paid subscription rate is around 30% and LTV to CAC is 3. So free trials needed per sub is 3.3, right? These are the like 3.3 free trials are needed for one subscription to occur. Your lifetime value of that subscription is going to be 21,300. Like, let's see how it is coming to this number. So what you do is you take your gross margin, you multiply it by your average monthly recurring revenue. So you will be able to understand your gross margin rate divided by the churn rate, right? So you will be able to understand your lifetime value. Max CAC will be basis on this. So we have taken LTV to CAC as 3 and you will be able to get CAC from it by taking CAC and dividing your LTV by 3. Cost per free trial, because now you know the free trial number of free trials that you need, which is 3.3, right? So you take this cost of CAC. So max cost of free trial will be 2130 rupees. So if your cost per free trial on your dashboards or any other reporting that you do, if it is going beyond 2130, then you really need to optimize your campaigns, right? And your payback period is going to be around 8.33. Like that's the time you will require, like this business will require to make the cost out of that customer, right? So yeah, that's how the subscription business will work. Now, what you really need to understand, like by the way, any other doubts, any other questions, just let me know in the comments below, right? Now, as a performance marketer, you really need to have certain mindset with you, right? So unit economics first. Through all these examples, what we saw is that how we are coming up to cost per lead, cost per free trial, cost per customer acquisition in terms of e-commerce or CPA, whatever it is. We are coming to that number through calculation of business metrics, right? Some businesses will have certain other calculations, metrics involved into this, repeat rate, etc., etc. You can take that into consideration. That's beyond the scope of this video, but this is to give you a broader level of understanding of the mindset that you need to have as a performance marketer, right? You cannot come to a business saying that, oh, I don't know how much cost per lead is required for your business sustenance. You will be able to help them out as a partner for performance marketing, right? And that will make you stand up. Hypothesis driven and data backed, right? This is again like once you get familiar with data, You need to pick insights. Through those insights, you need to create certain hypotheses and then test those hypotheses. And through testing, you'll be able to get feedback and execute further, right? So that's the three key core points you need to keep in mind as a performance marketer. To show an example, like this is one client's example that I'm showing you. This is like an experiment tracker that we maintain for the clients, right? Now we test CTA of get quote and book now, right? That's like the testing CTA experiment. What is the hypothesis behind it? That people who click on book now will have a higher intent, right? Versus get quote. That's the hypothesis we took from certain experiments that we did in the past. Reason, book now is stronger CTA versus get quote, right? What metrics will we measure? Cost per lead, because it will directly impact cost per lead. It will also impact cost per click-through rate, CTRs as well. But for this particular experiment, we wanted to track what is the impact on the cost per lead overall and the cost per qualified lead, right? Because as I said, not 100 leads will convert into customers. So there will be a whole lead pipeline. I think I will make one video related to the lead generation pipeline so that you understand as a lead generation expert in performance marketing, how the waterfall happens through all these stages. So you'll be able to define the CPQL, cost per qualified lead, and you will measure that. This will be like an algorithm based testing. That is within the platform. We chose certain type of testing that we wanted to do, and this is just for like score to prioritize the test, because at times it happened that we had like 15 different test ideas, so which one to prioritize first. So through this I score, we are able to figure out. It's more like a growth marketing thing, but the mindset needs to be like a growth marketer within the framework of performance marketing. And implementation notes, if there is any like need a system to an object to measure quality of the lead, like there has to be certain system. So just wanting to show you that the mindset that we need to keep as performance marketers, that will make us stand out from rest of the market, right? You really need to be aware of your numbers, where they are coming from, how they tie to your business, and through that calculate what is the KPIs and metrics that you need to set. Based on the data that you collect, you design hypotheses which are data backed, again to reach the number that we calculated in the first place, and then execute, take feedback, execute, take feedback, execute, take feedback, right? In the coming videos, we will go into the execution level as well. Next video will be related to competition research, where we will also see how to use AI for competition research. But this video is more like understanding what impact performance marketing is going to have on your business, and how business numbers will dictate your performance marketing approach. What to do next? I will share the sheets link in the description. Play around with it. Do certain calculations, see how things change once you are playing with the number. Make a copy of the sheet, and again, as I mentioned, any question, any doubt, let me know in the comments below. In the meanwhile, subscribe if you haven't already. We are creating this entire series for performance marketing, which will take you from 0 to 10 and beyond. In performance marketing, if you are a business owner, you'll be able to directly implement it. If you're a freelancer or somebody just getting started with performance marketing, it will help you immensely. If you like this video, do like and share with your fellow friends so that they can also understand more about business and how it is integrated with performance marketing. Thank you so much.